Now, can you imagine being Alan Shearer? You're a 25-year-old son of a sheet metal worker, and not only are you set up to pick, well, around £1.5 million as his cut from the £15 million paid by Newcastle, but apparently, if you're Alan Shearer, you'll be on round about £30,000 each and every week. But where will the world's most expensive footballer make his Newcastle debut? Well, the answer could be the unlikely setting of Sincil Bank, the home of lowly Lincoln City. Now that apparently is where the average player will be doing extremely well if he earns £30,000 in a year, let alone £30,000 a week. Here's Paul Berland.
Training hard for the start of what will prove to be another tough season for Lincoln City, but perhaps their biggest game will come before their opening match against Torquay. That's because England's hero of Euro '96, Alan Shearer, is likely to be in the side which will play a pre-season friendly at Sincil Bank. It was part of the contract when Darren Huckabee left the Imps to join Kevin Keegan.
He made an offer. We felt it wasn't just quite enough, so we thought of there perhaps other ways we could make up the total amount that we wanted. One of the ideas we come up, could they come down for a pre-season friendly? And Kevin's been ever so kind enough to sort of bring his first team down.
But Shearer's £15 million signing is a far cry from the realities at Lincoln. His transfer fee amounts to more than the total value of the club, and his weekly wage of £30,000 is more than City can afford if they want to buy Kevin Austin from Leyton Orient. Nevertheless, Lincoln's gearing itself up for sheer magic.
I think it's magic. There's just one thing I'm sick about. I'm going to Malta for a fortnight tonight and I'm going to miss the match.
I don't know what Lincoln City's expenditure over the year is compared to Newcastle's, but nowhere near the 15 million they're paying for one player, is it?
Come Friday, August the 9th, work on fitness and tactics had better be complete if the world record goal machine is to be stopped on his first outing.
Cool.
He's expected to make his debut for Newcastle tonight in a friendly against the third division side, Lincoln City. The game will mean record gate receipts for Lincoln. Every seat in the 11,000 capacity stadium has been sold.
Lincoln City are used to living in the shadow of a towering presence. Tonight, another will bestride their tiny, compact ground. And it's certainly fitting that Alan Shearer should make his English debut at the Bank. Sincil Bank, the club's home for exactly 100 years. The ground's 11,000 capacity could contain little more than half the throng of delirious Geordies who welcomed the £15 million man back to Tyneside earlier this week. So it's scarcely surprising that at Lincoln, the house full notices went up well in advance.
Lincoln City, good morning. No, I'm sorry, we're all sold out now.
For the Lincoln players, Shearer and Newcastle belong to another world. £15 million would buy their team about 100 times over. In fact, the club have recently launched a public appeal to raise funds to complete the transfer of one of them, fullback Kevin Austin. Like Shearer, he's coming here from the Orient, Leyton Orient, who want £30,000 for him. But there's no rancour about the huge financial gulf between the two clubs.
And obviously they've got fantastic amounts of money to spend. We've only got a small amount of money to spend. All I would say is that success is relative, and if we achieve anything, it will be equivalent to what Newcastle do.
Lincoln City expect to earn about £80,000 from tonight's match. For them, that's a huge financial bonus. But it's sobering to think that that's roughly what Alan Shearer will earn in just 1 month. Kevin Geary, BBC News, Lincoln.
For the first time in the city's history. It's all because of that man, Alan Shearer, the world's most expensive footballer. He's there to make his debut for Newcastle United, and following the story is Calendar's Jim Greensmith.
Thanks, Krista. The mood's electric here at Sincil Bank, but there's going to be a lightning storm of cheering when Alan Shearer takes to the turf. Lincoln City, though, have been preparing hard for this friendly battle. Lincoln City manager John Beck commanding his third division troops for Mission Impossible, battling against Newcastle United tonight. It's a friendly match before the start of the season, but making his debut for Newcastle, Alan Shearer, who at £15 million is the world's most expensive player. Lincoln's top price for a player, just £63,000.
I think it's a guideline to the sort of man that Kevin Keegan is. I mean, he so easily could have cancelled the game or postponed the game, having the important game as the Charity Shield in a couple of days' time. But I think he realises that that's where the football grassroots are, and it's all due credit to the man himself to still bring his first team to little old Lincoln.
Fans have been besieging Lincoln's Sincil Bank Stadium for tickets to the David and Goliath match, and it's a sellout. Even the club's managing director has been answering the phone calls for last-minute ticket requests.
Things are very hectic this morning. Just a little bit. You just caught us as we sold out. I've got about 4 tickets left now.
What do you think the match is going to be going like tonight?
Well, we're all looking forward to a very high-profile, exciting game, and I think that it's a good lift for the city of Lincoln.
Lincoln's fans don't expect to win, but what the heck.
It's quite an event for Lincoln, isn't it, really?
It's a unique opportunity, so we're prepared to pay the money.
Just to see Alan Shearer?
Really, yes, just to see Alan Shearer.
There are even 50 Dutch soccer fans here for the match. But believe it or not, they aren't here for Alan Shearer.
We come to watch Gijs Bos, the Dutch player of Lincoln City.
You're not here for Alan Shearer?
Maybe. We hope he will also play tonight.
Whatever the result, Shearer, already an England favourite, is destined to win new fans in Lincoln tonight. Lincoln City got Newcastle to play the match as part of a deal involving the transfer of Darren Huckabee to Newcastle. Jeff Davies, the managing director of Lincoln City. Jeff, how much of a good deal was it for you?
About £80,000 worth, I would think, and although it's nice, it's perhaps not the windfall that everybody thinks it is, because it's been scheduled for some months and we've already spent the money. We haven't had it yet, but we've spent it. We have budgeted and it's scheduled into our 96-97 budget, so it's very important to us, but maybe not the bonus that everybody seems to think it is.
Have you ever had a sellout before?
No. This match will represent record gate receipts for us, and it will be the first time this new Sincil Bank Stadium, since it's been rebuilt, has had a capacity crowd, so 2 firsts tonight.
But the club's also no stranger to good players. You've had people like John Fashanu.
Yeah, and Mickey Harford and a whole string of players that have gone on to play in the Premier League, and 1 or 2 for England as well. So we have produced some good players over the years here, and I've got no doubt that, that young Darren Huckabee is going to follow that path. He's a very talented lad. Good boy.
Mr. Davey, thank you. Now back to the studio.
Alan Shearer was making his debut for Newcastle United. He joined them from Blackburn Rovers for £15 million. And Shearer obliged with a goal, this penalty in the first half. But Lincoln put up a brave fight with the final score 2-0 to Newcastle.
A lot of good stuff played. Possibly should have been more goals for both sides. And I think 10 or 11,000 people can go home happy that they've seen a proper game of football. It was played right.
Little clubs like Lincoln are the feeder clubs to the big clubs like Newcastle. And I know that Kevin started at Scunthorpe, and I'd like to say thank you very much for bringing his first team down, albeit 2 days away from the Charity Shield. It's a credit to the man and a credit to Newcastle.